Hello. Hi, everybody. Hola, ¿cómo está?
So, I think I should take off the. Can you hear me? I am. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I see Nancy. Fantastic. So I see 3 people connected. Fantastic. Hello, good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
How are you?
We're doing like live streaming. So that means that we can see you, but you cannot see us. And I figured that it would be nice to have the conference going, like when you're going to start your presentation.
Yeah.
It will just be us looking at you, but you won't see us. But in the meantime, while I'm asking you the questions about yourself and, just to warm up.
Yeah.
If it's okay with you, we could do this through a WhatsApp call like this one.
Okay.
So it's more between you and I, and that way you can just answer to the camera, like to the computer.
Okay.
But maybe you can put your phone right next to the screen, and that way.
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, that's what I did right now, so I can have just a look at you. I'm sharing the event on my LinkedIn profile because I got more than 10,000 people right there, so they can also click in. I'm sharing the link with them right now, and let's see how that goes.
Perfect. They'll be able to see this part, and I think that would be interesting.
Let me see the room. How many people we have there right now?
Oh, here inside is very few people. I think we only have 4 confirmed, but everybody is online.
Yes, I understand.
So I'm gonna hang up now, and I just wanted you to be on the loop, and I'll call you in about 20 minutes when we start, right?
Okay, let's do that.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hi, Camara.
How are you? How you doing?
I think good. Excited to be here, ready for our last cafe of this year, and I'm happy that everybody's on board now. So, Osvaldo, ¿ya? ¿Estamos en vivo? Let's begin. Prende las luces. All right.
All right.
Hello. Wait, Camera, you're a bit distorted.
Hello, what's doing? Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está todo? Por favor, yo necesito tu hombre y país. Oh, ¿cómo está, guys? How you doing?
Tu nombre y país.
Hi, mi
Hi.
nombre es Tena y bueno, yo vivo en Panamá, pero ya, vivo en Panamá.
Ah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What you said was your name again? Remind me that?
I said my name is Angela.
Angela. Angela. Nice to meet you, Angela. I need some translation,
Thank you,
yes.
Yeah. ¿Qué pasó?
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I am doing amazing.
That's good. My name is Carissa, and I'm from Panama too. I live here.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Give me just a second.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How you doing today?
Doing very well. How are you? I'm from the U.S. I live here in Panama.
Oh, US. Where exactly from US?
From Texas and Kansas.
Texas
depending.
and Kansas. That's from Carl. That's from Kent, the Kent family, the Superman, huh?
Yeah, I think it's Kansas.
Yeah, I'm from New York, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, Camera, you have taken a bit of a tour around the room.
Mhm.
This is a small group that's on site. Everybody else is watching us online. So, hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for this last cafe of the year. And we are really excited to have Camara with us today. Camara, as you all know, is a cultural advisor. Is based in the U.S. and he is also a marketing expert who advises interpreters and translators around the globe. And Camara is going to talk to us today about how to further our careers. But before we do that, I would like to ask him to just tell us a little bit about himself. Like, where does he live? Tell us a little bit about his preferences on what to do on his spare time, if he has any hobbies, or what are your favorite books? How did you get into all of this? How did you become a marketing expert for interpreters and translators? And how did you become a cultural advisor?
Very,
So
very
let's
interesting.
look at that.
First, let me say hola to everybody. This is my first time being online with interpreters in the world, directly on live. This is my first time doing it, so you may see some hiccups. All right, so just expect a lot of things from me. So I am very happy and I'm glad to be with you guys here. And yeah, let me put the phone away. Very happy to be with you guys here. So I am originally from Mauritania. It is in West Africa, in border with Senegal, Algeria, Mali, and Senegal, Algeria, Mali, and Morocco. So I started early in my career as a guide, a tourist guide. So because I was not speaking really English at all. And I was speaking something called French English. Basically, I just use some French and make it sound like English, and try to help all the US personnel that was coming down there working with the US Embassy, help them as a guide, take them to the market, buy some stuff, and bring them back home. Then I get $2 or $3, and that was a lot of money back home back then. So I started as a guide, and then I moved to become a translator 2 years later. An interpreter. By that I mean interpreter, not translator. I am not mainly a translator. I am an interpreter. So as an interpreter, I start working with the DoD, which is the Department of Defense in U.S. Embassy in Mauritania, as an interpreter, helping the U.S. Department in Mauritania, working with Mauritanian local military government, you name it, different organization, NGOs, actually how to help the local businesses and bring people together. So from there, I went to college and studied international business and relationships, which will take me to the marketing level. Marketing is something I love so much. I mean, look at where we are right now. We're using the innovation of technology, and we broadcasting all this information. We talking to each other. People I see here, people from Argentina, Guatemala, Panama, US. And if you out there, you're from another country, please share with us. We want to know where you're from. So this is amazing. My journey take me to the international level, and one of the things earlier in my career I understood was the power of marketing, the power of personal branding, because we as interps and translators, linguists in general, we know how to handle the basic stuff, which is using our language abilities to actually drive income in build our careers and do translation and interpretation assignments. However, most of us lack the skill set when it comes to branding, marketing, business side of the job, because that's the most important part. All right, because today, if you look at the market, the tech revolution, the expansion of businesses around the world is just amazing. It's actually tearing out some industries in some countries. Interpreters and translators are facing a lot of challenges. They don't know how to handle this because the marketing side, the personal branding side, and the technology, which is all the CAT tools that is getting in the market, are actually taking their jobs away. Okay, Google Translation, Amazon Alexa, Facebook Voice, all these tools are actually taking away their jobs. So they need to learn different skills. They have to come with different skill set to actually boost their career, to take their career to the next level. So, and please, if you have questions, help me keep talking about things that you want to want to learn about by asking questions directly on the platform if you're out there. So now let me come down to as Hadi asked me, Mr. Gonzalez asking me the how did I became an international business facilitator, and what is a business facilitator actually, and how become a connector, translator, interpreter. So as an international business facilitator, a business facilitator is actually the person who actually a linguist who go beyond his traditional language abilities. Because as an interpreter, your job is to actually take a language A to, interpret language A to language B. So from the target, take one language to the target language. So, but as a facilitator, you go beyond those basic interpretation skills. So you will need to actually understand more of your customers' goal. What is the mission? What they're trying to accomplish? Okay, not only the words, but the dynamic, the goal, the mission behind the project you have in hand. So as an interpreter, as a facilitator, your job is to first build rapport between your clients and their target market. and understand what are the win-win situation they're trying to figure out. So when I work with teams, my work will start way before actually I get to the translation scene, so, or interpretation scene. So I will be working with them to understand what they're trying to accomplish, what they're trying to accomplish with their target market, with target clients. So I understand the whole dynamic going on between them and the target clients. So this is critical, because once you understand what they're trying to accomplish and you already have the culture awareness, you understand how the mindset, or how the people, the target market actually will conceive these ideas, then your job is to facilitate these projects to actually attain, your clients project to actually get to the results they're looking for. So is a more of a negotiator job, is more of negotiation skills, people skills, what I call them soft skills. And by the way, all these skills, because I won't be going deep on these, I prefer a dynamic conversation, interactive, where you people ask questions and I do my best to answer them. Or you can find all these answers on my YouTube channel, Language Nation. You can see the logo in the back there, Language Nation. You can find all these lessons out there. So I won't be going deep on these topics. However, you can dive into Language Nation and give yourself get all the answers to your questions. However, if there is questions, I will be glad taking them. All right, so I got Maria saying, what do humans, human linguists can provide that the artificial intelligence won't be able to do that? That will take me to the marketing approach and personal branding. So the one thing that a translator or any AI won't be able to do, artificial intelligence won't be able to do, is the human component of the job. Okay? If you look at Google Translation today, by the way, companies will always take the cheapest, the cheapest interpretation and translation than the expensive one. So they don't think about these, but if you make them understand, your work is to make them understand that the human component of the work is the one thing a machine will never be able to do. And what I mean by that is the soft skills, the ability to understand the nuance in the language, the cultural awareness, because this is the most important part. The word itself doesn't have a weight by itself, but the culture awareness, the culture value of the words, or the cultural meaning of the word is what is important. So a machine will never be able to do that. That's why I actually advise your linguists, most of your entrepreneurs, to actually take your business to the next level. Actually, build the skills set necessary to actually become something I call a facilitator. So a facilitator, as I said, will use all the skill set you guys already have and adding to them some soft skills, negotiation skills, communication skills, and especially effective listening, because that's what it's all about. So when you take one company, let's say you take Apple from United States to Panama. So your job is to help the Apple officials understand how the Panamanian mindset and the culture works, how they perceive certain things, and why that should help them actually get more results and be effective in their process. So that's the most important part, and that's the one thing a machine would never be able to do. So I'm gonna come back to personal branding. As you guys can see, the artificial intelligence is actually taking on the market, and I will be listening, waiting for questions. We got Veronica from Chile. Hey, Veronica. So bring all these information to the market, because the artificial intelligence is actually a dynamic world that is going through the globalization, because This is the expansion of globalization. This is the expansion of businesses across borders that's actually bringing these challenges to our industry. And by the way, the industry is growing. The industry is growing. There is a lot of many interpreters telling me, actually, no, the business is dying, the industry is dying, we're not making. No. Actually, as August 13, the industry, the translation and localization industry, is expected to grow to $47 billion. Now I'm talking globally. Okay, so the global market is expected to grow to $47 billion. So if somebody's telling me the industry is dying, I'm telling you, no. The industry is not dying, but it's shifting. So you have to understand the dynamic where the industry is going. And the industry is taking us to a technology level. Today, most linguists, both interpreters and translators, are doing more tech work than interpretation work. That's why companies are actually transitioning. The translation companies are becoming tech companies. Their job is to do localization work. So your job as a linguist, interpreter, both interpreter and translators, is to actually understand what you offer to the market and find something I call your UVP, your unique value proposition. Your unique value proposition is the combination. Hadi, give me a second, then I'm going to get back to you. So is your combination of your language abilities, technical skills, and cultural awareness. What I mean by that is all the language you speak and the secondary skills you have, the skill set you have, the understanding you have of different. Excuse me, let me turn this on. I got calls coming up. Sorry about that. So the language abilities and technical skills. My technical skills, for example, is my international skills, the international business skills. So I bring these skills, combine them with my language abilities, along with my personal experience and cultural awareness to actually provide a package value to my clients that no other interps or machine can actually provide to them. This is the killer strategy to actually build your business to the next level. So you need to determine your UVP, unique value proposition. Again, your language abilities combined with your technical skills, law, finance, business, medical, what you name it. Combine it with your abilities, your language abilities, along with your cultural awareness and personal story to bring your unique value to the market and properly promote yourself. All right. So let me get to Hadi here. So Hadi's saying, what are the cultural elements that interps could use to further their career in other markets? One of those elements is cultural awareness. Again, I'm going to come back to the UVP. Once you determine your UVP, your unique value proposition, you can properly promote yourself across niches. Why I'm saying that? Because the globalization and expansion of businesses. I mean, how many companies, how many international organizations are there in Panama? I'm actually reading a book right now, The Globalization and Discontent by Joseph Stiglitz, and talking about companies moving to Panama, companies like Apple, because the production is much more easier there, and the fiscal system is, much advantage for the companies have more advantage there than here. So when about 25 multinationals, so this is a huge number. Your job as a linguist is to actually understand your UVP and find companies that will need actually your skill set to help them understand the local market. If they are in Panama or any other country, by the way, Chile, Guatemala, so your job is to actually understand what are these companies trying to accomplish. And once you know that, combine them with your language abilities, cultural awareness to help them get the results they want. Once you do that, you will actually naturally promote yourself to cross niche or different markets. So these companies will be using your skill set not as a translator at all, but as a facilitator, negotiator, because you help them understand their customer better. Okay. Okay, so I got Maria Smith saying, in my personal experience, clients often don't value quality work over cheap work. How do you convince the client that your UVP is worth paying for? What is the best strategy to convince somebody? My number one strategy to actually help companies understand what I offer is to offer it first. So I give first, because when you give, you prepare the other person, to receive. So my job is to actually show them how my work can actually help them achieve their results more effectively or productively. So it depends on the companies you work in. Most of the companies I work for are NGOs. In other words, are non-profit companies. These, because of the African market, because these companies go there to help actually local communities, local businesses to grow. They don't go there as to invest as big investors. So they trying to understand the human component. However, I do works with some organization here, like the Howard Buffett organization, Howard Buffett Foundation, which is the millionaire, and my job there is to actually help them understand why certain products, certain market are not responding the way they want, because of the culture awareness, because what the weight that certain words or certain messages have on the local culture. The culture awareness, the culture elements, how they impact these people's view of the product. So if you want to convince your client how your UVP, or to pay for UVP more than the cheapest services they can get online, you first have to make them understand that the words themselves has not have more weight, but the culture awareness, the way you communicate. When people feel like you understand their needs, when your clients understand, your customers understand that you understand their way of looking at things. Because most companies today talking about globalization, but culture, international culture, or conventional culture, when you look at the word, there is no such thing as globalization. Globalization is on the markets and the businesses. But when you go to the local market, there is no such thing as a global culture. It does not exist. Every culture, every country have their own way to look at things. And their culture, their cultural dynamic will actually determine how they look at things. So, as Ms. Gonzalez is saying, like Panama is basically, all the companies are running to Panama. This is the hub basically. So your guys need to understand these companies' needs, where they're going, and try to tie up your UVP to their needs, so you can actually drive the market to your skill set. Okay, so because this is all about personal branding. If you're not properly branding yourself, you will miss on all these opportunities. So you have to use the marketing side of your job, the business side of your job, to actually drive business. Maria Sumes. Anju, who's Anju? Okay, let me come Anju. Based on technology advances. Okay, so I got Anju here. Based on technology advances, do you think this industry will die out? Is there any way to reinvent the wheel? Anju, first, let me reassure you. There is no way this industry is not going away at all. It's just impossible. For the simple reason that the world will never get to the point where we all speak one language. It's not going to happen. And as long we don't speak one language, the culture diversity, the culture component of things will always require a facilitator or an interpreter. Now, interpreting and translation, I would say, yes, the technology will actually caught up to a certain level, but the human component will always be needed. And that's why you need to prepare yourself to become what I call a facilitator or a connector. All right. So, and the reason why I believe that this industry won't actually die out for is the simple that the country, I mean, despite the tech revolution, the industry is still growing. Last year, it was around 38 billion globally. And this year is 37 billion globally. And the reason of that is, I mean, look at yourself. When you have time, your spare time, you are on your phone playing games and watching videos. Games, the gaming industry is actually what is driving our industry, because the gaming and the application, because that's where most of the localization work is done. These people, the engineers, need your skill set to actually adapt their product to the local markets, their target markets. If a company here is making games for Panama, they need to work with you, Mr. Gonzalez, to actually understand how the Panamanian people will actually react to this gaming, how certain concept of this game will actually adapt to their market. So there is no way it's going to happen. But what will happen is things are going to start transitioning. Instead of doing the traditional interpretation, the traditional translation is going to turn to something else, which become more than facilitation than translation and interpretation. Mr. Gonzalez is saying, do you think joining the American Translation Association or other professional association help us to get more jobs, or will it be better to think of other space for gaining exposure? I would say join all the organization you can. Okay, join all the groups you can, professional organization, professional group you can, but at the same time, make your personal branding strategy your primary concern. Let me repeat that. You can join all the organization. And by the way, LinkedIn is one of the biggest professional platform you should be. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're actively missing out on businesses. Okay, so go on LinkedIn, join all the interpretation and translation group right there. So understand where the market is going, where the dynamic is going, what is the dynamic of the market, the industry, and at the same time, work on your online presence. Excuse me. So just know that anytime, whatever you are, regardless of your age, your country, there is always someone online screening you. So what they find can have major implication on your life, on your professional career. So you need to work actively on your personal branding. So build your personal brand by interacting with ATA groups, Translation Without Borders, and million of group, including my own personal group on LinkedIn, Language Nation. You can join us, by the way, and see where the dynamic is going. Okay, so join this group and at the same time comment and showcase your skill set. Talk about the subject, the question you have, ask questions. So make yourself known to the community and take advantage of these global discussions and build your skill set, because that's the only way you can grow. But joining this organization by itself not going to do much if your personal branding is not properly set. All right, so your personal brand is your new currency. When companies trying to get to your country, they will talk to, when companies trying to get to your country, they will talk to their partners. And how do you think this is going to do? Like last year, I worked with clients from here who went in Africa, in Niger, without knowing these guys. All they did was to talk to their partners, and the partners sent them directly to me. If you want to accomplish this goal, you need to talk to this guy. So this is what you're after. This is what you need to do. And one of the best way to do it is to build your online presence. Okay? Do you know of any training or coaching on how to maximize your online presence? There is millions of training that will help you actually build your online presence. But one of the ways to do it is to actually build a very compelling LinkedIn profile. Okay, so LinkedIn has more than 100 million linguists. I don't remember the numbers exactly, but when I was preparing the video on my LinkedIn profile, the 5 tips to build your LinkedIn profile, I came across some interesting numbers. It has more than 100 million interpreters and translators using the platform. All right. So when you start posting articles, writing articles, making little videos, you will actually have more online presence. And the more people are getting to your content, reading your questions, responding to your questions, the search engine, because that's is all about. Google research will actually catch up to your name because there is some keywords people are always asking. So when people ask those questions online, it's going to directly send them to your profile. And that's how you get online presence. All right. So you need to work on your online content. What kind of, just don't use them as Facebook or other stuff. Use it professionally. Okay. And be also aware of the kind of information and the kind of content you put on your profiles. Any questions, guys? This is a very dynamic conversation. I just hope I can hear your voices. Now I will always come back to the personal branding side. All right, Maria, I'm listening. Where is Maria? She already asked the question. How much time do you invest in marketing as compared with providing services? Maria, I will tell you one thing. Spend all your spare time on marketing. All of it. If you work in 8 hours a day, you still have around 16 hours left. Use whatever spare time you have to build your brand. And by the way, branding is the marketing process of identifying, creating a name or a symbol to help customers identify your services. So whatever you can do, articles, videos, pictures, or even questions to actually help people identify who you are, what you do. And if you are in a small country, when I came here in 2013, by the way, I came here in 2013. When I came in 2013, one of the things I did to actually get myself known to the industry is to offer pro bono work. Pro bono work is basically providing my services without asking a pay at all. So I went to all the local NGOs, the local nonprofit organization, the hospitals, police stations, schools, to provide them, to give them my service for free. And I will ask them to go on my LinkedIn profile and leave a recommendation or a little comment. And in 1 year time, companies was actually rushing to get my services, because when they have contract with one of those people I already serve for free, they will tell them, oh, we need this guy, by the way. So that's one way you can do. So build your profile, always be providing services, but always also be building your personal brand, because that's the currency right there. It will help you separate yourself from the crowd. It will help you identify your unique value proposition. All right. So I want you to write down that acronym and work on it. Unless you come with your VP, you are like everybody else in the market. And the tech revolution in our industry will actually push you to the edge. Okay. So you need to work on your personal branding. Any other questions? I personally spend so much time on my on marketing because, as you guys know, I have the YouTube channel, which I post a video every Monday 11 a.m. US time, and also New York time, And also, I post a lot of information, a lot of content on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is my primary platform. As I said, there is millions of professionals. And by the way, the mindset on LinkedIn is totally different from any other platform. See, when people go to LinkedIn, they're looking for three things. They're either looking for somebody to hire, or they're looking for a job, or they're looking for a recommendation. So when you use LinkedIn to boost your content, you will be in contact with these people. And these people have the power to drive your business to the next level. Okay, so the government officials, big companies, they go on LinkedIn to hire. That's where people are looking for your services. So you need to be there. Not on, I barely use Instagram because I know nobody actually go there for the kind of content we create. So, and Facebook, I lately basically just let it go, because there is so much information, so much, you just get lost. And the target is so wide, you don't know how to actually target precisely to your people. But LinkedIn is your platform, so you need to be there. So I got another question is from Mandizabel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My question is with regard to the resume. In my times where we were advised to get one no longer than 2 pages long, I have seen endless CVs in this. Is this good? Okay, so resumes. I would say resumes are the traditional way of doing things, honestly. Today, companies may still ask you resume, but they don't look at it. Most of the things they look at is your online presence. Your LinkedIn profile is your resume. Why? Because there, not only they have the companies you work with before, they also have the recommendation, the endorsement, the content you actually post. So they know how you think. Okay, so you definitely need to have a resume, a compelling, but 2 pages, 3 pages, it depends on who you're dealing with. All right, but the most important things is your LinkedIn profile. By the way, I would suggest you guys to actually Google yourself. Go on Google, put your name, look for it, and see what pop-ups first. If it's not Facebook, it will be Google. It will be LinkedIn. Now, most companies will go to your LinkedIn profile because that's professional profile. So they will go there to look you up. So if you are not there, or you're not controlling or properly managing the content you put there, or if your LinkedIn profile is not complete, you are actively missing on opportunities to actually grow your business. Yara, what is Yara? Questions, guys? Questions? So again, LinkedIn is, oh, your name is Yara. Nice to meet you, Yara. That was your question. That was very interesting question, by the way. So Yara, I would say work on your LinkedIn profile. Work on your LinkedIn profile. Yes, have a resume. Have a nice resume. Now, 2 pages, 3 pages, it depends. Actually, one resume is not going to answer to every job offer. You need to have a resume template, and then use that template anytime you have to apply for a job. But you cannot use just one resume for all the job offers you're looking for. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so a resume is just a key to get you to the door, but it does not guarantee you. Actually, I call a resume basically a phone call. Basically, a resume will guarantee you the phone call, but once you get there, well, the resume already did its job. So your LinkedIn profile, again, your personal branding is your currency. You need to work on your personal branding. Why do you think I'm doing this? This is my currency. This is my new currency. Using these kind of things, these services, providing these services will actually expose me to the world. So you need to be doing stuff like this. I mean, it may not be vocal, but it can be in writing, articles, and different content. Is it advisable for interps to work over the phone? How do we make the crossover from over the phone to live interpretation. I mean, I never did over the phone interpretation. So I have to be honest with you guys. I don't do much of interpretation work. I do much of facilitation work. If you don't mind. I mean, people call it. I actually do some consulting work. Companies call me to ask question about the market they're heading to the businesses they have or they intend to have in different countries in Africa. So, however, I believe if you can do over phone interpretation, you also can do online. I mean, direct conferences, because it's all about communication skills. And these are what I call the soft skills. You need to build your soft skills if you want to be, I mean, you want to make the competition relevant, including the artificial intelligence, okay, the technology revolution in the market. So if you want to make those irrelevant, as they grow, they're not going to have any effect on your job. Is to build your people skills. People skills is communication skills, listening skills, effective listening skills. Because when you have the ability, the art, because let's be honest, an interpreter is an artist. Is somebody who take one concept and translate it to another concept. Okay, because it may be the same word, but in a different understanding, in a different world, and a different social elements. So you need to build your skill set to make the tech revolution irrelevant. Unless you can do that, your clients will end up going to Google Translation or countless application and CAT tools that they can be using themselves to translate their documents and then just use you for the editing. Because that's what I see going on much right now. Companies do their own translation. They hire a professional to do the editing and they pay them half the price. Guys, attitude. Your attitude toward what you do is your currency. If you allow yourself to do any job to get the job done or to get the money on the table, you are destroying your personal brand. Okay, so you need to define your UVP and only work with clients who are willing to work with you, who recognize the value of your work. And those who don't, they're going to leave you anyway. So don't destroy your personal brand. What was her name again? Yara. So Yara, yes, definitely get a template. Get a template and then fill it up. Have the template in your computer and fill it up as long. I mean, anytime that you need a job, just fill it up, but don't use the same, resume for different job offers. That's I don't advise that. I don't advise that. Any other question? Thank you, Hadi. Is actually an amazing thing. I hope I had the opportunity to hear your voice, and I will, because I have the feeling like I'm talking to myself. But this little chat here is helping me a lot to keep me on course. If not, I'll be talking about things that they're not really interested in. But here is what I'm saying. You can go over to YouTube and look for Language Nations. Language Nation. Language Nation, okay? Language Nation. Look for Language Nation on YouTube and subscribe. You will have so much information. There is so much videos there, how to transition from a simple linguist, both interpreter and translator, to become a facilitator. And also there is something else that I did not talk about, which is a connector. A lot of people, when I tell them I am an international business facilitator and connector, they don't quite get what I'm trying to say. Now, a facilitator, as I said before, is a linguist who go beyond his language abilities. Not only he will translate and interpret the things, but he will also help the client to understand the mindset of his target or his customers, okay? So he will try to build a platform or an environment where everybody will be heard and it will create a win-win situation. Because if you are winning over your customers, guess what's going to happen? They're going to end up losing. You're going to end up losing those customers. They're going to go to somebody who actually understand them and make them feel like they're winning. They're winning. So that's the job of a facilitator. However, a connector is somebody who's actively looking for partners in one country and partners in another country, trying to bring them together to actually promote economic growth. That's one thing I be doing also. I do a lot of connecting. What I do, I connect with countless of entrepreneurs with business ideas back home in Africa and here in United States, and try to bring these people with the right resources together so they can create a common product that can revolutionize both businesses. That's connecting. That's one of the things. Most people go online today, all they do is looking for followers. Yeah, you can build a big follow list. But what is most effective, the most powerful things is connections. Connect with people, understand what their businesses are trying to accomplish, what they're trying to do, what resources they're looking for, and bring people from different companies together so they can promote their businesses. And by the way, I'm doing this for free in the beginning, because when I'm doing this for the companies, they don't understand what I'm trying to do. I bring them together, then I leave them talk about their businesses. But guess what? When these companies decide to do businesses together or do business together, become partners, I will be their common denominator. In other words, they will always get back to me to help them get what they want from their partners. So I will be the actor, the artist in that game. So you need to actually start thinking about these things too. Go to your local chamber of commerce and look for all the companies that are trying to come to your country, and the companies who are already in your country or your local businesses, what they trying to provide, what kind of services do they have, and who are the partners overseas, United States or any other countries, who can actually work with them to revolutionize their business. And when you start bringing people together, businesses together to do business, well, your business will take over too. All right, so that's a connector. Any questions? This what? Oh, I'm sorry, I was not looking at my phone. So what do you say? We are ready? Okay. Any questions? Any questions? All right. I hope we are all good. I hope we are good. So how is the industry in your local markets? Chile, Guatemala, Panama. How is the translation industry right now? How is it? Is it growing? Is this stagnant? What is going on? How the globalization is affecting it? Tech revolution. How is impacting your local businesses? I mean your translation and interpretation business. Okay, so the industry in Chile is growing, although we still need to educate the clients. Definitely, that's your job. Make that your main job, to educate. Always be educating people, because the more they know about your work, the better opportunity you have to build your brand. Panama started a solid diplomatic relationship with China. Whoa, that's very interesting. Actually, China is the first economic power in the world right now. I hope I can say it's United States, but not anymore. United States used to be the first economic power, but China is right now. China is driving the global economic market. So this is huge for Panama. This is huge for Panama. But is there a lot of Panamanian who speak Chinese? I hope so. That's interesting. That's interesting. So in Panama, what is happening in Panama should be happening in every country. Chile, Guatemala. Uh, you need to create some kind of association or collaboration with the local chamber of commerce to actually promote these kind of businesses. Okay, so if you should be very active in your chamber, I mean in local chamber of commerce, because every country have every country have a chamber of commerce. In your city, if you're living in a big city, there is chances that they have a chamber of commerce. So you need to know everything that's going on there. You need to participate on the conferences, because that's where you're going to meet potential customers, potential clients, potential businesses that are looking for your services. So you need to make yourself known. You need to interact with these people and understand where the dynamic of the country is going on. Because as an interp, you are the bridge. You are the bridge between your country and the world. You need to embrace this reality. You are the bridge between your country and the world. So you need to do your job properly. And in order for you to do it properly, you need to understand what is going on in the market. You need to understand the dynamic of the market so you can properly, effectively help your clients. Okay, so Miss Gonzalez Had is saying there is the profession. I mean, the profession is not visible in Panama. There is no direct link between interps and the clients. Listen, once again, most of the people you're dealing with, they don't understand your role, but you need to embrace your role. You are the bridge between your local economy and the world. So you need to make them understand that. So it's your job to go out and build that link, build that relationship, make them understand that. And once you have that rolling, guess what? Both markets, your business and their business, will benefit. Why? Because they will understand their customers better, and you will have a potential customer to work with. This is your job. Any other questions, guys? I think we are getting at the end of this. So I will with Hadi's permission, I will go ahead and close this. I don't want to be repeating myself, beating the dead horse. So Hadi's saying there is okay. Let me just wrap this up. Okay. Veronica, you are very welcome. Hadi, very welcome. Very welcome, everybody. I hope I added some value to you. I shared some valuable information with you today to help you actually further your career. And one thing I will leave you with is personal branding. Personal branding. Be building. Be building. Whether this is with your local chamber of commerce, LinkedIn, your friends, every client you talk with, leave your stamp on them. Leave your stamp on them. Okay, so that will be it. Camara Brahim from New York, and I hope I will see you on YouTube, Language Nation. I want all you guys to be there. Ask questions that will help me actually tailor my content to help you take your business to the next level. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think we're gonna go ahead and ask. Should I just thank you guys? I really appreciate. I really appreciate. So let's stay in touch. Contact me on LinkedIn, Camara Brahim, and YouTube. Let's stay in touch. And also there is a LinkedIn group of Language Nation. Language Nation. I share so much content. That's my personal LinkedIn group. One way you can also create your personal LinkedIn group and bring all your local interpreters and translators together so you can discuss different ideas. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Until next time, be legendary. Thank you very much. How do you, I with your permission, I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. What do you say? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right.